When Li Qing returned to the mansion, Li Jiancheng knew about Cheng's female disguised as a man on the court. He praised Li Qing and asked Cheng to send the treasure to his room. Li Qing's tone was dodging, saying only that she had given the treasure to King Qin. King Li Jian never liked King Qin. After hearing the words of Cheng, he lost his temper and asked Li Qing not to mention a word about King Qin's mansion in the future. At this time, Wei Jing came to see Li Jiancheng. He said a few pleading words for Li Qing, and followed Li Jiancheng to the study to discuss matters. Li Qing was self-willed and reckless since he was a child. The princess instructed Li Qing tens of millions yesterday, and Li Qing never took her words to heart. After learning that Li Qing had made the limelight in the Kuja field, the crown prince beat Li Qing for the first time in her life. She asked Li Qing to swear in front of the Guanyin statue and demanded that Li Qing be free from hatred in his life. Li Qing has never hated anyone when she grows up. She swears on the spot, but if someone hurts her mother, she will hate the other person. Hearing Li Qing's words, the princess was relieved a little bit. She let Li Qing pack her luggage, and she was going to send Li Qing to Baiyongtang for 10 days. Ashina Falcon has been staring at every move of the East Palace. Li Chun discovered a vision while observing the astrological phenomenon at night. Today's phenomenon, the reigning king is the world revolution. He was worried in his heart and decided to enter the palace immediately. The next day, the princess personally sent Baiyongtang to leave. She didn't close her eyes to make cakes for Li Qing all night. Li Qing didn't know it was a farewell for her life. She fell out of anger and fell the cakes made by the princess, and she didn't want to call again. Niang, the crown prince looked at Li Qing's leaving back with tears. Her heart was full of reluctance, but she had no regrets. Only in this way could Li Qing live in peace. On the way out, Li Qing found that the coachman was not heading towards Baiyongtang. Thinking of the strangeness of the princess in the past 2 days, she secretly escaped from the carriage and hurried back to the East Palace. However, Li Qing was a step late, and the East Palace mansion was full of blood. Li Qing saw King Qin with blood on his hands coming out of the princess' room. She was shocked and stunned, staring at her second uncle with blank eyes. Wei Jing was about to speak to the prince. He wrote a letter and wanted to send it to the princess mansion, but Fang Xuanling appeared in the Wei mansion, but he stopped Wei Jing. Now the Xuanwu gate is closed, the prince mansion is blood-bathed, and he appears in first. The Wei mansion can keep Wei Jing's reputation as arrogant and loyal, and second, it can stop Wei Jing and protect Wei Jing's life. Today, whoever he and Wei Jing can leave the palace for half a step. Ashina Falcon knew the news of the Xuanwu Gate mutiny. It was the princess' subordinate Cheng He who ordered the closing of Xuanwu Gate this time. He thought it was the prince who controlled the gate, but the Lingjian outside the city was unique to Yaozu, Prince Edward. His subordinates were also blocked outside the city. Ashina Falcon couldn't help but sneered. He didn't expect how difficult this King Qin was. Now Chang He has already turned to King Qin. Li Qing came to the princess's room. She was a step late. The princess did not breathe anymore. Qing cried and wondered what happened. The third mother next to the princess took the last breath and came to Qing. Chang He heard the movement and rushed over. Chang He didn't expect Chang Ji to be alive. He wanted to kill Chang Ji. San Niang stopped Chang He with his life. Chang Ji saw the treasure knife she gave to King Qin on the ground with great pain, and finally understood that the tragedy of Prince Mansion was King Qin shot, and then Chang Ji escaped from Prince Qin's mansion with the help of Sanyang. Ashina Falcon spread the news that Prince Qi Wang died. He will be punishable, ready to shake the heart of Datang's army. On the other hand, Li Yan also learned about the Donggong mutiny from Jiaodu. She was always worried about Qing, for fear that Qing would be out there. The news spread by Ashina Falcon spread through the army, shaking the army's mind. King Qin was worrying about it. Fang Xuanling and Durui's political views were different. After thinking about it again and again, he decided to stop. Li Cheng changed her clothes and stayed in hiding. She accidentally rescued a little beggar. From the little beggar's mouth, she learned that her mother's body was in Rong'an Temple. Saw the corpse of his own mother. Li Cheng was sad and cried. She knew that the princess had already expected this ending. The princess had made her not hate in her life, but her mother and father died in unfavorable circumstances, and the East Palace was imprisoned. The king of Tang pretended to be deaf and dumb in the palace. The official indifference, how can she have no hatred? She swears an oath here today, she will never give up without the murderer in this life.